Sweden sends Ukraine its entire stock of 300 PPV-302 armored personnel carriers. Oh, and they gave them 2 AWACS aircraft also. Between 1966 and 2014, Sweden used the Panzerbandwagen 302 as their highly mobile, tracked infantry fighting vehicle. Fun fact, Panzerbandwagen directly translates to armor track wagon. Privyet, Druzy, my name is Wes O'Donnell, veteran of both the U.S. Army and the U.S. Air Force, and today we're looking at the newest massive military aid donation from Sweden to Ukraine to help Ukraine evict its unwanted house guests. So, subscribe if you're not already, it really helps the channel grow. Let's jump in. The PPV-302 bears a striking resemblance to the US-made M113, albeit not as boxy. In other words, this baby's got curves. It's fitted with the powerful 20mm Hispano Suiza Type 804 cannon. The 20mm round is the smallest caliber of autocannon, but arguably packs as much of a punch as the M2 Browning 50 caliber, found on the M113. Is the 50 caliber stronger than the 20mm? Tell me about it in the comments. In May, a large military support package valued at 13.3 billion Swedish krona, that's about 1.3 billion US dollars, included just under 300 PPV-302s, as well as spare parts, maintenance equipment, and ammunition to support all of these APCs. And now, thanks to a new video by a Czech blogger, we're seeing those PPVs move by train through a railway station in the Czech Republic. Now, Sweden has newer APCs to replace its donated stock of PBVs, including the extremely capable Combat Vehicle 90, as well as several Finnish-made wheeled infantry fighting vehicles like the Patria AMV. Okay, so how might Ukraine put these vehicles to work? Well, the PBV has a crew of 3, the commander, a driver, and a gunner, and can hold 8 infantrymen. They dismount via 2 doors in the rear and can fire small arms through roof hatches while remaining somewhat protected. Powered by a Volvo 10-liter diesel engine producing 270 horsepower, its maximum road speed is 65 kilometers per hour, and on-road and off-road ranges are 300 and 150 clicks respectively. With its wide tracks, the vehicle has low ground pressure and is known for its excellent off-road capability in both snow and mud. It's also fully amphibious. This will come in handy in Ukraine's thaw in the spring of 2025. It's worth noting that the PBV doesn't have night vision built in, but optics can be added after the fact. For operations in former Yugoslavia, some PBVs were fitted with additional armor protection as well. Ukraine's military is at its best when it has the freedom to perform lightning-fast ground maneuver. It's proven this multiple times in the 2022 Kharkiv counteroffensive, in Kursk of this year, and all across the front lines in Ukraine, anytime there's a defensive weakness in Russian lines. These vehicles simply add to that and enhance that capability. While the PBV may not be as hard-hitting or well-protected as, say, the Bradley, it still provides a way for Ukraine to move troops quickly in relative protection from small arms fire. A Ukrainian mechanized battalion typically has between 520 and 600 personnel, depending on the type of vehicles used. A battalion with the BTR family of vehicles has around 600 personnel in 45 vehicles. A battalion with BMP-1 or the BMP-2 vehicles has around 520 personnel in about 40 vehicles. So these 300 Swedish PBVs could outfit roughly 7 new mechanized battalions. Indeed, this is exactly why Sweden agreed to donate these vehicles. At about the same time as the Swedish announcement, Ukraine announced the formation of new mechanized brigades. But wait, there's more. Sweden's support package also included 2 airborne surveillance and control aircraft, the SAAB 340 Airborne Early Warning and Control, of which Sweden only operates 2. Both will be sent to Ukraine. Of course, this will leave Sweden without any airborne warning capability, at least temporarily, but Sweden is in the process of procuring 3 S-106 GlobalEye aircraft to be manufactured by SAAB and delivered in 2027. Interestingly, the only current operator of the GlobalEye is the United Arab Emirates Air Force, which flies 4 SAAB GlobalEye aircraft with an additional one on order. So back to the SAAB 340s that Ukraine is receiving. Compared to traditional circular radar on AWACS planes, such as my jet, the E-3 Sentry AWACS, the SAAB 340 has a non-movable PS-890 ASA radar. It offers lower drag, but it has a dead zone directly behind and directly in front of the plane, with 120-degree zone of scan on either side of the airframe. Now, its radar picture is comparable to the US-made E-3 Sentry and is capable of tracking ships, planes, and missiles up to 300 to 400 kilometers, while at an altitude of 6,100 meters. According to the Swedish announcement, this will be a completely new capability for Ukraine. Until now, the country has relied on Allied intelligence sources from NATO aircraft, but these new AWACS for Ukraine will fit in nicely with their new F-16s and help facilitate command and control from the air. This is especially important as their air force continues to shift from Soviet doctrine to NATO standards. Finally, as part of Sweden's package, Ukraine will also be receiving the advanced medium-range air-to-air missile, the RB-99 AMRAAM, which can be used on aircraft and in ground-based air defense systems. The package will also include an additional shipment of 155mm artillery shells, fuel transport tankers for the APCs, and an unspecified number of Starlink terminals with subscriptions already paid for, Elon. And perhaps most interesting, the Swedish Defense Research Agency will be tasked with supporting Ukraine in establishing its own Western-aligned Defense Research Institute. Clearly, the Swedish, like many of us, have an interest in helping Ukraine win their fight against their invaders. But I had no idea how magnanimous they could be. I almost feel bad doing my famous Swedish chef impression from The Muppet Show, which is itself a parody of Swedish mannerisms. Still, as I've said all along, get Ukraine the tools and they'll finish the fight. Well, Sweden just sent Ukraine $1.3 billion worth of tools. Now it's time to finish what Russia started. That's it for today. Subscribing really helps out the channel, and as always, glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. Slava Ukraini.